Bad Larry.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Bad Larry Kingdom. I'm your host, Bad Larry, and we are looking at The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 17. This issue was dated October 1964, and we see the Human Torch will make an appearance. But what is interesting is this is the first time we see Green Goblin's upgraded glider. When Spider-Man fought Green Goblin for the first time in issue number 14, Green Goblin was riding more of a broomstick style glider, and this new glider will become the iconic version used by Green Goblin for ages. Peter Parker is off in La La Land, reminiscing of his battle with Green Goblin, in which the enemy got away. In most cases, the villain is apprehended by the end of the issue, and Spider Man is forced to battle a new mysterious villain. But Peter Parker is wondering what became of that one that got away. I often put myself in Peter Parker's shoes, and as a 15 or 16-year-old student who's also Spider Man, these are the kind of thoughts I think I would be thinking as well. But we don't have to wonder what Green Goblin has been up to. His only focus has been Spider-Man. It's kind of gay. He's been training using a dummy Spider-Man. Green Goblin has a new Goblin glider that I pointed out earlier, which is faster and more maneuverable. And he has a whole new bag of trick bombs he plans to use the next time he encounters Spider-Man. Stan Lee purposely prevents us from knowing the Green Goblin's true identity here, and we will have to wait until issue number 38 to get that answer fully. Flash Thompson, who is Peter Parker's biggest hater, well, other than J. Jonah Jameson, he's created a Spider-Man fan club, which is totally hilarious and ironic, don't you think? Flash has basically invited everyone to join the club, everyone except Peter Parker, of course, because he's a big giant nerd, which for some reason Liz Allen takes offense to and really rips into Flash about it. I don't really get this. Liz and Peter don't have that kind of tight relationship for her to stick up for him like that. She even goes as far as to make some sort of plot to ensure Peter will get into the club. It's kind of weird, this subplot. I don't really know what Liz's motivation is. After school, Peter is strolling the streets and sees a crowd watching what he thinks is a crime in progress, and the crooks are making their getaway. On a side note, I often watch reaction videos, and there's these two older British rappers named Pete and Baz who put out a song called Whirlybird. I was shocked that there are so many reactors out there who had no clue what a whirlybird was. I mean, it's kind of in the name. But here, Stanley uses it as a reference to the helicopter. As a kid, I remember reading this very issue and having that word whirlybird tattooed into my brain. I thought it was such a cool slang word. I used it all the time. Anyway, Peter quickly gets into his costume and Spider-Man is now on the scene to everyone's amusement. I like Spider-Man's self-awareness here. He knows he's a bit of a show-off, but I get it. Being Peter Parker, having to be so subdued all the time, it must feel so free to let loose as Spider-Man. I also like the fact Spider-Man understands the comedic value of having Peter Parker's bully be Spider-Man's biggest fan. Spider-Man easily swings onto the whirlybird, only to find out the criminals are actors and the whole scene is being filmed for a movie. Whoopsie! How was Spider-Man supposed to know? Well, the fact his spidey senses never tingled should have been a clue. There was actually no real danger. So that was a real mistake by Spider-Man. What Peter Parker says in this frame in 1964 is still totally relevant now in 2026. It doesn't matter how many great things a fella might do. Make one little mistake and they never forget it. This is so true now, especially with social media and cancel culture. Some good person may get filmed when they're in high school, let's say rapping, and they may say the N word along with the song. Then that video gets released years later, and all of a sudden that person is public enemy number one. I guess that cancel culture has always been around It has just gotten worse since everyone now has a phone and records everything and posts everything to the internet like they're freaking some director. Anywho, J. Jonah Jameson is reveling in Spider-Man's mistake. Sheesh, you'd have thought Spider-Man publicly insulted the Queen the way everyone is carrying on. One person who doesn't hate Spider-Man for sure is Betty, and she recalls being saved by Spider-Man now 3 times. How could she not suspect it's really Peter Parker by now? Boy, as nice as Liz Allen can be towards Peter Parker, she is deadly ice cold to Betty, making a claim that Betty been putting on that weight. Woo! Flash and Liz are playing the same game as the Ringmaster did in last issue, putting out an ad in the paper claiming Spider-Man will be attending their club meeting just to drum up attendance and hoping just somehow Spider-Man will get the word and really show up. But what will Peter do? He is trying to aura farm as Spider-Man, and this is a sure way to do so, showing up to a club full of fans who already adore him. Liz takes this opportunity to ensure her little pet project Peter Parker will join the club and tells old Betty she can go and kick some rocks. So nice and so cruel all at the same moment, this Liz Allen. The internet is claiming that this is the first time Peter Parker's spidey sense has gone off when a civilian goes by who isn't actively trying to be a threat to him. But that's not true. In last issue, number 16, when Peter saw Matt Murdock and wondered why his spidey sense went off, that was the first time. But this is not the point. Putting out an ad for everyone to see, letting everyone know where Spider-Man will be, is just what his enemies need to try to get a drop on him. Liz Allen shows she is a master negotiator. She's going to get all Peter Parker in that club if that's the last thing she does. And sad, sad Betty. She doesn't get the invite to the club because obviously Peter Parker and Spider-Man are the same dude. He can't be entertaining Betty and be Spider-Man at the same time. Spider-Man is scouring the city looking for the dude who set off his spider senses with no luck. Of course, as soon as he gives up and gets back into his civilian clothes, Spider-Man is needed once more. Spider-Man is now second guessing everything because he's afraid of making a mistake. This is a good example of just following your gut instinct out there. Peter Parker delayed, and now the Human Torch is getting the glory because he's the one saving the day. Why was he even in the area? Lucky coincidence, I guess. Johnny Storm is mogging Peter Parker hard here, aura farming and looks maxing. I mean, can you blame the guy? Oh no, Johnny mugged Peter again, handing him an autograph. Johnny Storm is an aura farming machine at this point. J. Jonah Jameson hates that Spider-Man has a fan club and wants to sabotage the event. He can't let Spider-Man gain any aura, not on his watch. Boy, Aunt May is really overstepping here, setting Peter Parker up on a blind date with Mary Jane Watson, whom Peter has still yet to meet. Doesn't Aunt May know Peter is kind of with Betty? Lucky for Peter, Mary Jane is sick, so she can't go. And Peter's off in a blink of an eye. Liz Allen's family is loaded, so this event is actually kind of a big deal and a good publicity for her dad's club as well. Everyone is just waiting for Spider-Man to make an entrance. The place is packed, and Green Goblin is also ready to crash the party. The whole town is here. Johnny Storm, J. Jonah Jameson, and even Betty, whom Liz tried to blacklist. She's keeping an eye out for Peter as she is super duper jealous of Liz taking her man, well, her boy man. I had forgotten that Spider-Man used a spider signal. But hey, it's a great tool for a true showman. Green Goblin tosses one of his froggy tricks, which disintegrates Spider-Man's web. I'll be honest, I don't remember Green Goblin ever using this. I thought it was all pumpkin bombs with this guy. Spider-Man is too agile, though, for Green Goblin's little trick to work. Flash is the only one having a good time. Both Betty and Liz are looking for Peter, and Johnny, being a veteran hero even in his youth, knows there's something afoot and is about to flame on, and he's going to steal Spider-Man's spotlight. Again, Peter Parker's spidey senses don't alert him to the Green Goblin's sudden appearance. This power is wonky right now. Green Goblin is playing for real, but Spider-Man needs to think about the crowd and ensure the battle with Green Goblin doesn't hurt any civilians. Green Goblin tries giving Spider-Man his magic tingle finger. No, did he? But Spider-Man is too fast. The crowd thinks it's all an act. They're loving the show. Everyone except J. Jonah Jameson, who everyone knows is Spider-Man's biggest hater. The Green Goblin's next trick is this bat, which hones in on Spider-Man, engulfing him in black smoke. And here comes the pumpkin bomb. Finally, the Spidey senses get activated. Better late than never. Steve Ditko loves drawing using this bowling motion. Daredevil did it last issue, here we see it again. But here with Spider-Man doing it, I believe it a little bit more. As Spider-Man lunges towards Green Goblin dodges. The new glider is much, much faster than the previous one. Liz Allen over here is trying to dispel the blondes are all dumb stereotype by being the first one to deduce that, whenever Spider-Man is around, Peter Parker is absent. The two are never in the same place at the same time. She is a smart cookie, that Liz. And Spider-Man heard Liz. He needs to think of something quick to get her mind off that track. But Spider-Man has bigger fish to fry, and that means not getting cooked by the Green Goblin. Wow, all these terms are from Spider-Man. Lower the boom? I didn't know this was a Spider-Man reference. I always thought this was a wrestling thing. Well, everything is just getting out of hand. Johnny Storm flames on, mogging Spider-Man at his own event. Some criminals are also there looking to use the ruckus to steal some stuff. Everything's going cattywampus. Both Spider-Man and Flash Thompson are pissed. The Human Torch is ruining everything right now. But the crowd loves it. I mean, who wouldn't prefer to see a real Human Torch in action over Spider-Man? It is what it is when it comes to the mod game. The Human Torch stops the thieves cold and now sets his sights on Spider-Man's enemy, Green Goblin, who is looking to teach the Human Torch a lesson in interfering with his plans. But the silver lining is that the Human Torch is giving Peter Parker a chance to show his face around, making sure Liz doesn't think Peter Parker and Spider-Man are the same guy. See, keeping the secret identity a secret is a tough game in itself. Peter Parker is looking mad disheveled and makes a crack about starting a Green Goblin fan club. For now, his secret identity looks to be safe. Oh no! Not only did Peter Parker not invite Betty to this event, who is his girlfriend, Betty sees Peter getting rizzed up by Liz. This girl can't catch a break either. I like these comics because they don't have to follow some power orders rule. In modern times, I don't think anyone would argue that Green Goblin has zero to no chance against the Human Torch. It just is impossible. But here in 1964, in this world, the power sets are lowered, and Green Goblin can beat the Human Torch with some clever tricks, like this ghost bomb, which encapsulates Johnny cutting off his air supply and will cause him to flame off. I think in every issue, poor Betty Brant is crying, needing some tissues. She should actually move on. I mean, Peter Parker is what, a freshman or sophomore in high school, and she is out of school working at a real job. She should get an adult man and let Peter go. Now Green Goblin is using his glider's exhaust to suffocate the Human Torch. It is a silly concept, but I'll allow it in the 1960s universe. The crowd is starting to realize the show is not a show, but it's for realsies. And now Spider-Man is back in the game. Green Goblin's goose is about to get cooked. We get a good old shot of the old spider glutes here. Peter Parker's been hitting that squat machine for sure. Green Goblin misses an uppercut on Spider-Man, and now Spider-Man has Green Goblin on the run. But all of a sudden, Spider-Man hears someone on the phone. It's a message for Peter Parker? Oh, Aunt May has had another heart attack. Hey, family first. The only family Peter has. Spider-Man bounces and loses all his aura points. The crowd thinks he's a coward running away in fear. Everyone is now booing Spider-Man for being a coward. Boo, Spider-Man, boo. J. Jonah Jameson is loving it though, but the Human Torch is still there to fill in for Spider-Man. Green Goblin has no real beef with the Human Torch and causes a distraction to allow him to get away. Green Goblin has some confidence, though, in his new tech and knows that he can go toe to toe with Spider Man now. Peter Parker doesn't care about any of that. He needs to get to the hospital and get to Aunt May. Can we get a frame of Betty Brant not crying over here? My heart goes out to the poor gal. And poor Flash Thompson as well. With everyone thinking Spider-Man turned tail as a coward, the fan club is dead. Everyone has turned on Spider-Man. Ironically, the guy who hates Peter Parker is Spider-Man's number one most loyal fan. Nothing will tarnish Spider-Man's value for old Flash Thompson. Meanwhile, Peter is ever so close to the hospital. Aunt May recovers, but she is super sick. It's a rough day for both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Everyone now thinks Spider-Man is a yellow-bellied coward, and Peter Parker's personal life is even worse. It's not easy living this dual life. There is no handbook Peter Parker can read and manage both. As a 15 or 16-year-old high school student, this emotional frustration is believable. Peter throwing the Spider-Man suit is just a metaphor that even when you feel like you can handle it all, sometimes life throws you a curve and you definitely can't please everyone, so you have to please yourself. I really love this issue. I love the humanity we see in these characters. It's not just Peter Parker, but it's Betty and Liz and Flash. We can see a bit of ourselves in all of them. Next issue, we see the return of the Sandman, who we last saw way back in issue number 4. Make sure to comment Betty or Liz. Hit the like button. I'll see you real soon. Peace.